I mean, it's no hot fuzz. Yo, what's up, and welcome back. Just back to Angel's Reach as always. I'm Angel, and today it's Film Friday, baby. Now, last week we talked about Michael, the Michael Jackson movie, and ironically enough, this week we're going to be talking about a movie that I watched the night before. I watched the Michael Jackson movie, and I saw the Michael Jackson movie when I like at 10. Um, 10 in the morning with a friend of mine, but then and then after the movie I went to go work at noon, and then but before that, the night before, I saw Shaun of the Dead. Now I saw Hot Fuzz not too long ago, and I knew that it was in the Cornetto trilogy, which is three movies directed by Edgar Wright, helped written by Simon Pegg, and produced by Nira Park. Sorry, it looks like Nina in the text. Nira Park, and shout out women in film, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the trilogy with those three, I've seen Hot Fuzz. That's the second one, and I really loved Hot Fuzz. I thought it was super funny. One of my it seems to be one of my favorite movies of all time. I want to say I've only seen it once, but it's really high up there, and I'm gonna rewatch it like probably tonight. It's really good. But I saw Shaun of the Dead the night before watching the Michael Jackson movie, and I really really loved it, from the characters to the comedy to the shots to the writing. I mean, the concepts, like all of it was super dope. Now, if you've been living under Dwayne Johnson and you don't know about the 2004 zombie comedy flick Shaun of the Dead, I mean, it's really like its impact on culture and stuff is super huge, like in the pop culture zeitgeist and everything. Lots of references to it. The iconic uh the white shirt, red tie, and the zombie apocalypse for the Simon Pegg, and like even like having references to Left for Dead and stuff like that too. Like it's really I mean, zombies, zeitgeist. That's the word of the day. I don't know. It's really, really popular and stuff. So if you don't know what Shaun of the Dead is, it's a zombie comedy horror flick starring Simon Pegg alongside Nick Frost. Basically, the concept of the movie is Simon Pegg is a like loser 29-year-old in some in some like slummy in some like random rundown small town in London, and wait, is London the town? Wait, I don't know. Oh my god, but whatever. He lives in some like really shitty situation, and he lives with like a roommate that doesn't have a job, and he works selling selling like kitchen appliances to like with a staff full of like like teenagers essentially. So he's like really like down on his luck, going nowhere essentially, and this is what his girlfriend Liz complains about, and this is the main conflict of the, well, not the main conflict, but his main internal conflict, which is Liz, his girlfriend, realizes that there's no excitement in their life, that they're like sort of not going anywhere, and that nothing's changing, and like, you know, they're essentially in the same spot forever, just going to the same bar over and over again every night. Nothing special happening. Her not liking his friend, the unemployed fat slob, racist, or like whatever idiot character Nick Frost, which happens to be my favorite character. I think he absolutely plays the idiot role perfectly well, like from a comedic standpoint, to also just like the little actions he does and the dialogue. I mean, he's amazing. Nick Frost, fantastic actor. But she doesn't like his friends, and then he also doesn't like her friends, one of which is like a friend of hers that's madly in love with her, and then the other one is the sort of middleman girlfriend that he uses to get to Liz, Simon Pegg's character Shaun in the movie. And so the main problem of the main actual conflict of the movie arises when, after Liz breaks up with Shaun and tells him that she needs him to take more initiative, a zombie outbreak actually a zombie apocalypse breaks out, a virus or whatever, because they can't use the Z word, as they say in that silly little land over there, across the seas, over the water and by the land. I don't know. One if by land, two if by sea, three if by blood, four if by Crips, five Latino kings. I don't know any other gangs. MS-13? No, that's a middle school I went to. No. Okay, wait, let me lock in. I just went on a tangent about gangs. Yeah, so I mean, I really love all the characters in the movie, and the conflict arrives when the zombie outbreak sort of happens, and Shaun, while going to visit and secure the safety of both his mother and ex-girlfriend Liz. They're kind of together, kind of not, but like ex-girlfriend Liz. He sort of learns to take initiative, take leadership, make a decision, make change, and you know what I mean. It's mostly take initiative because like before they like even break up, Liz gives him sort of one final chance to prove that he can change, and um like it's like he fails to even do that, and it really like drills in the idea of this Sean character being like a loser who needs to change and like needs to take initiative but is oftentimes too scared to, or like as one of the characters in the movie says, like Sean like feels better having somebody like more of a loser around because he's so much of a loser himself that in comparison to someone like Nick's character in the movie, who's like a dumb idiot unemployed fat slob, you know what I mean, with like zero social skills. um like he obviously feels like he's doing better in comparison when in reality he's stuck in the same place. And now this fucking hit me like a truck because I've been saying for the longest time I'm in like I've been on a treadmill. I've been playing it safe. I haven't been making any choices and changes in my life and stuff like that. I've just been getting used to routine and monotony and stuff like that. And I just like applied again for classes and stuff, and it was really like I saw it at the right time because it was like a day before I was having a talk with my friends and stuff about like what's the next steps in our lives and stuff and like what we're doing. um and I was like, yeah, man, I was thinking of like going back to classes, but I've been procrastinating it. But like, I just went and did it. So I applied and stuff. So I'm just hoping to hear back from them again. But this movie, I mean, it was a really big wake up call. It was a really big slap in the face to be like, dude, you're not doing anything. You know what I mean? You're almost 30. Granted, I'm almost 25. You know what I mean? Now I just turned 24. So saying like, you're almost 30, you know, in that position, it was very much so like that is definitely the reality of some people's lives and stuff. And I mean, although it is like a comedy, you know what I mean, and it's super exaggerated some and stuff like that, it is very much so grounded in reality. The whole movie is just super like, besides the zombies, you know, and everything else is super realistic. What I love about Shaun of the Dead is the realism in it. There is no like badass save the day superhero action. It's like all realistic scared characters that like interact with each other in very authentic and funny ways. Like the relationship between Sean and his mother, Sean and his girlfriend, Sean and his roommate, Sean and his roommate's friends, like all of that, all of those relationships are completely different to each other. And then just seeing the way that they interact with each other, seeing how his friend interacts with his friend's girlfriend, or seeing the way his friend reacts to his girlfriend's friends or his mom. And you know, like there's this inside joke that like that Sean's mom wants to bang Nick or whatever, and so it's like it's all like interwoven into each other, and with like the background of like a zombie apocalypse and fear being the overall like feeling that's sort of tying all these bands of characters together. um it makes for like a perfect backdrop to just really, again, just funny dialogue moments, like interactions. And obviously Edgar Wright as a director has like a really good eye for like certain scenes, like the comedic scene where Sean passes by his old friend, and she has like a group of people that just completely mirrors their group. Like it's Sean's character and her, and then Sean's partner, and then the other character's partner, and then the other character's mom, and then the other character's friends. And so that becomes like a super funny moment. There's also the beginning scene where before the zombie sort of this before the zombie outbreak, pardon me, before the zombie outbreak sort of breaks out, he's walking to the store and getting like a can of Coke. And then afterwards, after the zombie outbreak happens, and he sort of makes a change and goes and gets the Diet Coke instead, but it's the exact same pathing. And like something like that is just insanely uh, cool. You know what I mean? Like on top of zombie references, like completely brimming from this movie. I think just the attention to details from like the shots to um, Oh my gosh, from the shots again to just the way that the characters play on screen of each other, their chemistry, what they're doing in the scenes, and yeah. It's just all around a funny movie. Sean becomes a character that you accept sort of the flaws of, and sort of despite his downcomings, and when you see him mess up, you can sort of always root for him and see that he wants the best, and he genuinely does love Liz, and uh, does love his friends as well. Like he doesn't want to be like his roommate who's just like shitting on his unemployed friend and stuff, because he like knows that Nick is a good guy at heart. At the end of the movie, you even see Sean having him tied up like in the shed, like chained up, and they play video games and stuff together. You know what I mean? Because he like loves him. He has a kind soul, and he knows he would never like mean any harm, despite him being very ignorant and bliss a lot of the blissfully ignorant all the time. Damn, I don't know what I'm blissfully ignorant all the time. And so yeah, again, I can't stop recommending this movie. I gave it, I think, 5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. I love the twist I mean, like, not twist, but I love the sort of spin it has on the zombie movie genre, where it's not just like, well, it is surviving, but it's sort of not Sean taking the lead in the way that a traditional movie might do it, and like where like a character sort of rises to the occasion. He's more so sort of pushed to the front of the crowd, essentially, and while he does at the end of the day take leadership and make those changes that Liz needs to see in order to like keep the relationship alive and trust them and really know that they're going somewhere, which they do by the end of the movie. It makes you uh it makes you root for Sean the entire way, and view his character of more depth than like you would in like some zombie film where people are just like killing zombies and getting to an extraction point for like I mean, in this movie, like he plans to go to the bar because it's the safest place he knows, because it's the only place he goes, because like you know what I mean. It's just what some idiot would think of, like when panicked, when all they know is like the bar and home. You know what I mean? And so it really, the realism in it, and like how, again, just authentic it feels when the characters are interacting with each other, to like the small scenes they have and the small moments they have on their own time on screen. It just really makes for like laugh after laugh. Again, the writing is super funny too. There's like quick jokes that happen, and like one of my favorite jokes is even just in the beginning of the movie, where she's like, "Listen, our apartment is nice and all, but I just think it'd be nice if we had somewhere to, and then Ed, Nick Frost's character, like is playing pinball, and he goes "fuck," and then it's just really good timing and like comedic pacing, and uh it's not like a bunch of like hook shots thrown at you one after another, but it's definitely enough for you to catch like continuously while you're enjoying. I mean, just the action throughout the uh movie, because I mean it is a zombie movie. There is scenes where there's like where they're blasting zombies head off and throwing like actually, one of my favorite scenes is the scene where they initially find out that like you have to decapitate the zombies or like hit them in the head and kill their brain to like get them to die. And so there's a really cool scene where they're crate digging to find which one of Sean's vinyls they can throw, and like he ends up throwing like a disc, and he's like, that's a limited edition one, or something like that, or like, oh, that was a single press, and it just really like small moments like that make that aren't necessarily like quippy, but like add depth to like the character and gives you a little bit of insight to like, oh, this is a guy that like he likes blues, and like like is appreciative of music and listens to video game music and stuff. You know what I mean? And I mean, just every, I feel like, detail in this movie just contributes to the characters and contributes to the plot. There's a lot of callbacks. My favorite thing about Hot Fuzz, and I've been saying favorite for like 5 minutes now. My favorite thing about Hot Fuzz was all the callbacks, all the references to movies, and all the sort of premeditating, or like the premeditated stuff that was sort of gonna happen that got foreshadowed and stuff. Love foreshadowing, love it. And this happens in this movie too. I mean, the scene right after Liz breaks up with Sean and he goes to the pub and gets sad. Ed immediately tries to cheer him up by like doing a chimp impression, but also. by me losing my point because I don't know where I was going with this. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, there's so many good things about this movie. I'm like tripping over my own word. I'm tripping over my own thought. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is what I was gonna say. One of my favorite foreshadowing movies of the moments of the movie, which I didn't realize until I saw Hive Mind. Shout out Hive Mind, do it with like a movie review series on how did it age. They talked about how Ed actually foreshadowed what was gonna happen in the movie. They were gonna go to one pub or go to this area and go to the here, go here, and then like they were gonna cut this zombie's head, or they were gonna roll heads here, and then heads will roll there, and we'll get smashed here, and then we'll get blasted there. You know what I mean? And it like sort of predicted, and it was like, and then we'll end up at the Winchester for a couple of shots, and that's how it ends. Yeah, it's amazing. What am I? Oh my gosh! At the end of the movie, I feel like I'm just gonna geek out about this movie nonstop. But at the end of the movie, a really funny line of dialogue that I think it like goes overlooked is just like Ed is about to pass away, like he's about to get bitten by zombies. Well, I think he was already bit by zombies, but he's about to like bleed out and die. And Shaun and Liz are sort of about to escape together, and they're about to think like, oh, they're considering suicide and like killing themselves like the easy way out or whatever. But there's only like two bullets, or and so like they were like, which one, like which three of us, which two out of the three of us is gonna go? Like Ed, Shaun, or Liz? Like it's gonna be awkward either way. And so before they decide to go through with it, or well, they end up chickening out and like escaping, not chickening out, but they end up escaping and not going through with shooting themselves. But while discussing it, before discussing it, Liz and Shaun sort of have a really heartfelt moment where they say they love each other and it's really lovey dovey. And then one of my favorite line probably is Ed going like, "Actually, you know what? I think I do want to get shot. I changed my mind." And it's the funniest thing because this character is the idiot who, you know what I mean, just has no social awareness at all, and is just like a fucking dumbass, and it plays so perfectly into his character. Every single moment up to this character, I mean, up to this moment, you've seen this character be an idiot and sort of make mistakes, and you know, mean really well, but just ultimately not live up to anything he could possibly maybe do. Just really being like he is not even living up to the small potential that he does have. Like he's not even doing the like small drug dealing stuff that he claims to be doing well. Like you see like you see you see him talk about like having a customer like doing a weed deal later, and then it's actually one of Shaun's co-workers, younger like 16-year-old co-workers, who's calling him to ask for you know, weed, and talking about how he actually doesn't have any because he doesn't have any weed because he's smoking it all himself. And I mean, yeah, I could go on and on about Nick Frost's character Ed. I love him. I love him in Hot Fuzz as well. I love his character in that as well. But yeah, 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 yeah. Shaun of the Dead, super recommend it. It is not your mama's zombie movie. You know what I mean? It has a fair amount of. It has a fair more charisma and a lot more, I think, personality, a lot more charm. At times, like campy and like indie feeling, like I mean, I think with just some of the shots, it felt super like cold. And obviously this was in the like early 2000s. I was 2 when this movie came out, Brody. So like, you know, I mean, there's that too. Pretty grainy. I saw it like on Netflix on like 720p or something like that. So like, you know, it helped the cold distillate feeling, like the bleakness of it all, of like the great zombie apocalypse. I mean, London is already gray enough as is, and then you add like green, gold, ghoulish, like, you know, gray zombies going around and trying to kill people, and it's like, yeah, I mean, you know, Tuesday in it. All right, cool. That's where I'm gonna leave off this Film Friday. What is that? 5 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you like Shaun of the Dead, or what is your favorite of the Cornetto trilogy. What's your favorite joke from the movie? What's your favorite line from the movie? Have you seen this movie? Have you liked this movie? Do you hate this movie? Do you like any actors in this movie? Like, what do you feel about this movie? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. So you're reminded whenever I upload. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. Whatever. I gotta stop ending them so like, you know what I mean. I feel like we're not getting off on the right foot, you know. Because I'm just like saying like whatever, goodbye, and that's sort of my thing. But like I can see like, oh, whatever, you know, like end it like a little bit more like that, whatever.